So whenever you want me to get started.
Hey everyone, I want to welcome Jonathan Gates. He is a transfer enrollment specialist at Kent State University. We are very grateful to have him here today to talk to us about transfer opportunities to Kent State. Just real quick, the nice thing about Kent State, other than everything Jonathan's going to say, is that they also have a TRIO SSS program. So obviously all of you who already are in our program, you would qualify for that program, have to apply, etc. That is one really nice thing about Kent State. So Jonathan, take it away.
Thanks, Derek. Hi, like Derek said, I am Jonathan Gates. I'm a transfer enrollment specialist here at Kent State University. I specifically work on the Kent campus, but that's not necessarily something that you have to keep in mind because our campus network does work together on many of these issues. So again, yes, this is for Kent State. Where is Kent State? Well, we're in Northeast Ohio, just like one of the campuses for Eastern Gateway. But we're about 20 minutes from Akron, about 45 minutes from Cleveland. We were rated the #1 college town within the state of Ohio, but it is still nice to be near those larger metropolitan areas so you can get some of those larger city amenities, museums, shopping, and we're also near the Cuyahoga National Forest. So if you're an outdoorsy person, there's a ton of green space up here. It's a really nice city to be in. Who attends Kent State? Well, at our Kent campus specifically for our undergraduate student population, we have over 22,000 students. And then we have 8 campuses all over Northeast Ohio. Kind of what I was getting at earlier, we are a lot of places, we serve a lot of communities. And all in all, we have more than 38,000 students within our network, making us the 3rd most populated institution in the state of Ohio. For a few different reasons, but we are super proud of it. We are a first tier on the best national universities list by US News and World Report. We think that's for a few different reasons, but we have to think that a lot of that is going to be for our academic majors. I'm not going to get into like all of these, but just a little bit, about each of these. We have 10 degree granting colleges. So if you do transfer to Kent State, likely your degree is going to be, well, it has to be in one of these 10 colleges. And then we have a couple of non-degree granting colleges. But our College of Aeronautics and Engineering, so any real like hardcore STEM degree is probably going to be in this college. For our aeronautics program, we have the largest collegiate fleet in the state of Ohio. If you're looking for professional pilot license, or if you want to get into air traffic control, we're really the place to do it, especially here in Northeast Ohio. And then any engineering or engineering technology degree that you're looking into, including one of our more popular ones like cybersecurity engineering and mechatronics engineering. Cybersecurity engineering sounds exactly what it's like. And then mechatronics engineering is a blend of mechanical, electrical, and computer engineering in one, just because there's so many moving parts in each of those different kinds of engineering with what we do here in the 21st century. So employers really like someone who's kind of triple branded there. We have our College of Architecture and Environmental Design. So this is largely 3 programs, with the most being in our architecture program. We're one of the few in Ohio, and we are pretty highly accredited. We have the College of the Arts, and the College of the Arts is really going to be in studio art, kind of, or like applied art that you're going to think of. So like you're looking into the actual like pottery, painting kind of art, studio art, music, theater, and then our fashion programs. And our fashion programs, fashion design is ranked top 3 nationally, and the fashion merchandising is ranked top 4 nationally. We're the only public school to even get close to the top on that list. So really, when you're thinking about a really high quality fashion program and affordability, Kent State is really the place to go. The College of Arts and Sciences is going to be our largest college on campus. It has more majors than any other colleges, but if you think of anything like a liberal arts degree, more of those like natural sciences, like a biology or chemistry, and quite a few others obviously are going to be all nestled into this college. We have a College of Business Administration. College of Business Administration is what is called AACSB accredited. It's essentially the gold seal of approval when you're talking about colleges around the world, colleges of business around the world. About 5% of colleges have this accreditation. So it really is really great. And we're going to get into this a little bit later, but we have a pathway for our general business program that can be completed completely online. There's not many fully online fully AACSB accredited program. So we are really proud of that, and the fact that we can do a guided pathway with our Eastern Gateway students just makes it even better. We have our College of Communication and Information. So if you see a lot of communication programs around, you're going to find them a lot of places, but really this college is going to bring together more things than you would see at other universities, where communication students sit in the same college as like our journalism students, graphic design students, photography students, digital sciences students. So really those like multifaceted portions of like what we think of communications nowadays, especially in the pandemic, we're going to be able to, our students really get their hands in all of that before they graduate, instead of just that kind of like traditional few flavors of communication. College of Education, Health and Human Services. So we were founded as a teaching college more than 100 years ago. So education is our oldest program. We're one of the biggest in the state. It really is a phenomenal program. And then Health and Human Services, like anything that you can think of medical or health wise that is not nursing or public health, that's going to be here. So if you think like exercise science, pre-PT or OT, nutrition, anything like that, it's all going to be nestled into this college. We have our College of Nursing. They do one thing, they have their nursing program. So Kent State is actually the largest nursing producer in the state of Ohio. So about 40% of nurses working in Northeast Ohio right now are Kent State graduates. About 25% of working nurses in the state of Ohio are Kent State graduates. We are by far the largest in Ohio. We're one of the largest nationally producing of nurses. So our nurses pass the NCLEX, which is the board exam that you have to take afterward, at a 96% passage rate on the first try, which is really phenomenal. It really is a great program if you're looking for nursing. And we do have the RN to BSN completion program with Eastern Gateway. So if you start in the associates and you want to end in a bachelor's degree, we got you on that. College of Public Health is our newest college on campus. So, like a few years ago, maybe people weren't talking about public health as much, but like, of course, 2021, it seems to be a pretty common piece in people's conversation. But, College of Public Health, we do have pathways with Eastern Gateway, but the big thing is they do offer all their programs completely online. You can do a mix of full-time, part-time, whatever meets the needs of you and your family. They are super flexible with that stuff, and they can range anything from a health services administration to just a allied health. They have a bunch of different concentrations within the program as well to meet your needs. The University College is going to be more or less for our exploratory students. Most transfer students don't end up here, but if you do, that's not a problem. We have a lot of services to help you find that preferred major in the end. And we do have the Honors College. It is one of the oldest and most prestigious honors colleges in the nation. It is a really great way to add a little bit of extra to that degree. The one thing all of our bachelor's programs do have in common is what we call the Kent Core. The Kent Core, someone else might call it general education program. It's just a list of courses or a grouping of courses that every single student does have to complete on their way to a bachelor's degree. Most of you, especially if you're coming in with an associate's degree from Eastern Gateway, are probably going to have at least the majority of this done. But in a lot of our guided pathways are going to have at least the majority of these built in as well. But if you do have any questions about how some of that looks, you just let me know and we can look over it together. Kent State does do a lot of great work when it comes to getting students ready for that job or that first job, their career after Kent State. And it really is a multitude of things, but we just do deliver what employers are looking for. And, aside from the students having the competencies within their degree area, our students are also critical thinkers. They communicate really well. They can work together as part of it, or they can work alone or as part of a team. And they really are leaders out in the field. Part of the reason for that, and really what makes some of our programs so unique, every one of our programs has what's called an experiential learning component inside the major. And this can mean quite a few different things. Like if you're going for teaching, obviously you're going to do student nursing. If you're going for nursing, you're going to do your clinical works while in, but not every single program is that apparent. Sometimes it's an internship, sometimes it's a research project, but each of our students are going to do at least one of these things while in college. And one of the larger things people do is we do have the largest education abroad program in Northern Ohio. And really our students go everywhere. The 4 places listed in blue, we have literal facilities over in those areas, most notably going to be Italy, which is pictured here is in Florence, Italy. One of our more popular, but that also does contribute to that experiential learning credit. Part of the process is going to be actually the transferring of your credits. So as and this kind of happens through the actual process of transferring, you would send us a transcript just, as part of the application, and you would get your official transfer credit evaluation about within a week of you being admitted. But if we want to talk beforehand about how your credits might apply to a program here at Kent State, you can do what's called a pre-advising appointment with me, the transfer enrollment specialist. Really, we're just looking for a dear higher in your classes to transfer over, and then we can talk about how credits might transfer into Kent State, but how they might apply to your program might be a little different. So we're happy to help with that. We do have a lot of other things that we do off of our students. Derek kind of went on a little bit about how we do have a TRIO program here as well, but just depending on certain specific student needs, this is just a short list of some of the services that we offer here at the Kent campus, and these are offered on campus and online. One big office that we do like to highlight just because we find that they do a really stellar job, it's our Office for Career Exploration and Development. If you look at other universities, we do some of the same few things like in our career centers is like mock interviews and helping students with resumes. But what we do here as well, we will help you find that first job. We'll help you find jobs within college, like especially internships, but we're going to help you land that first job once you graduate, which is really the hardest job in your entire career to land, is going to be that first job. You don't necessarily have a bunch of experience, so you just have to make sure that you're applying for the right gigs or having the right experience while you're in college to get yourself ready for those applications. But they also run what's called Handshake, and Handshake it's an electronic job board. So if you're familiar with like Indeed.com or Monster.com, I guess the shell of it kind of looks kind of similar. What's nice though is instead of like those websites, of course, anyone can apply for those jobs. So for one position, you might get 1,000 applicants or something like that. Really, these are just for Kent State students. So the employer probably has had a Kent State graduate at some point, really liked what they saw, they were coming back for more, and you and only other Kent State students can apply for those positions. So it really does help your chances of getting those positions even more. So yes, the career exploration services are free to our students. So it is built into the tuition. You don't have to pay anything extra. You literally walk in. You need to borrow some like dressy clothes. They have a career closet or mock interview, anything like that. They are happy to help at any point. And they do also help virtually. So one of the newer things kind of in this pandemic, and actually for this job, I had to do a virtual interview. It was super strange because I had never done a virtual interview before. And, we just get used to it. But that is one thing that they are helping students navigate as well. Thanks for that question, Gary. This isn't, especially for students coming with associate's degrees, and a lot of times for students that are online students aren't ever going to get hit with this. Students that live in the Youngstown area aren't going to get hit with this. You are not going to get hit with what we call our live-on requirement for first and second year students. Again, 60 credit hours, you're a junior. If you're 20 or older, you're not going to get hit with that. Most likely, you're not going to get hit with that requirement. And even so, we can make sometimes some adjustments even outside that. But we have 24 residence halls on campus, award-winning, residence life and housing program. It's very safe on campus. We have tons of places to eat and work out and a lot of other things. So it's a really beautiful campus, really nice walking campus. We do have more than 400 student organizations. We kind of brushed on a couple of the services that we offer, but really, like we say that, on average, we have more than 1,000 events every school year. So in the fall and the spring, there's always something happening on campus for sure. Student organizations specific to transfer students. So if you are part of like Phi Theta Kappa at Eastern Gateway, Tau Sigma is kind of like the beefed up like 4-year version of that. But then also like if you had say you had a really good transfer experience and want to get back to other transfer students, our Transfer Advisory Council does a lot of great work as well. We are a D1 school. We compete in the MAC. So anytime you see, like us on the, if you see like our football team playing on TV or something, yes, we are D1. We do compete in the NCAA March Madness bracket every once in a while. All of our games are going to be free to our students. And you'll see here that Flash is our official mascot. I get a lot of questions because people think that the squirrels are official mascot. Not technically. That one has been branded as an unofficial mascot, but you will see Flash at all of the games, and really you'll see him at a lot of other events as well. So when it does come time to apply, we're just going to ask that you do apply online through our website. It's the only place to apply to Kent State. It takes about 15-20 minutes. Just my professional opinion, applying like the first month of the semester before you transfer. So say like you want to transfer for the spring semester, the fall semester starts kind of like that August, September time. That would be a great time to apply to Kent State, just to make sure that you're not crazy early, you're not late whatsoever. We have plenty of time to process your stuff and get you, and do the onboarding experience with you just a little bit at a time instead of it all being forced in your face all at the same time. So if you are looking to apply for the fall now, we are not charging an application fee. It is waived. We are just going to need you to submit your Eastern Gateway transcript, official transcript. You can just do that through the Eastern Gateway website. If you've attended any other college in high school, anytime in your life that's not Eastern Gateway, we're also going to need that transcript. And we will only need your high school credentials if you've earned 11 or less credit hours while in college. That's probably not the case, especially if you're close to an associate's degree or you're completing an associate's degree. You're never going to have to worry about high school credentials. It's kind of just like the breakdown of our costs. So if you are an in-state student for this year, we are around the 11.5 mark. This was before scholarships. Most of the time for transfer students, there's a good chance that they don't have the room and board, so they would just be paying for tuition. If you are one of our out-of-state students, there's that unfortunate surcharge for tuition, so they were just at 25 or 20,500-ish for this year. Same thing about the room and board, so the total was a bit higher. Again, that was before scholarships. We do consider you for a transfer scholarship just for applying. So as long as you have at least 30 credit hours and a 2.5, you can meet, one of these merit-based scholarships just for applying. You don't need to do anything else. Like I said earlier, if you're a member of Phi Theta Kappa, that also has its perks here, as you can apply for our PTK scholarship as well. It's a separate application, but that could be another $1,000 added to your account. Anything that you qualify for through FAFSA, if there's Stafford loans, Pell Grant, anything, work study is a big one. We're going to, of course, accept that and add it to your bill or subtract it from your bill. And then we also have what's called our University Scholarships Office. So we do have a lot of scholarships that aren't actually just, you get that automatically for applying or anything. Sometimes they come from our departments. They take a little bit of extra work, but you can go on our website and work with our scholarships office. There's a specific search tool for scholarships just for transfer students. You can click and put in your info into that. And then also we do this, which we're the only ones that I know of that do this anywhere around here. We have an external scholarship search. So there's a bunch of money that's being offered through places that aren't Kent State's or any, school funded, they could be just random. Like I saw one that was for Instapuff. So if you're into pressure cooking things, they offer scholarships too. So if you want to apply for that, and if they send us a check on your behalf, of course, we're going to subtract that from your bill. As part of the onboarding experience, we have what's called Transfer Kent State. That is our orientation program. Right now, it's completely virtual. So really, we're just going to send you some things to go over on your own, like module related, and then you're going to meet your advisor there. So Kent State has a thing called required advising. So every single semester, you will check in with your advisor. We do that for a few reasons, but really, it's the best way just to keep you on track to graduate. And say there was ever anything that you needed outside of advising, you'll likely bring that up to your advisor and they might say, you know, that's not my wheelhouse, but let's schedule you an appointment with this office on campus. So if that's like, you need tutoring assistance or you need the career office, they're going to help kind of be your liaison as well. So I've referenced these quite a few times throughout the presentation. And really, if you want to go over or look over any of our degree pathways, you can just zap the QR code in the bottom. But here is the list of the different pathways that we have with Eastern Gateway. Most of these are going to be what's called a 2+2 articulation agreement pathway. You don't really need to remember the lingo. Just when you click on some of these, you'll see that on the left-hand side, there's a grouping of Eastern Gateway courses that you have to take, that you get an associate's degree, and you build that directly into a 4-year program here at Kent State. We make it incredibly easy for you to, look, not have to necessarily worry too much about looking up every single equivalency as you go, emailing me just like every single class, like, does this count? Does this count? We've done that work already. We've put it in a nice document for you. You can go over this with your advisor. You can take this until you graduate Eastern Gateway. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to just keep you right on track for graduation. And really, we have a lot of different options. And most of these are going to be completed either in person or online. And honestly, I want to say every single one of these has an online option. So if you are getting into any of these, feel free to know that you don't actually have to come to Kent. Sorry. We do not offer social work online. We do have what's called our human development degree that's going to be in person. It's pretty similar to social work. A lot of times those students are going to go on to some sort of a master's program in social work so they can sit for their registry exam afterward. Good question, though. So I'm going to go on. So just to kind of recap, there's a few things that you need to do to be enrolled. As part of the application process, we're going to need your transcripts. We're going to do that transfer credit evaluation. Most likely you won't have to do any placement exams. Most transfer students don't, because we're just going to base you off of what you've taken at Eastern Gateway. But again, you would be meeting with your advisor at the orientation TKS. I just flew through a ton of information. I understand that. But if you do want to kind of get acclimated to what we do offer here at Kent State, one of the great things that you can do is just to follow us on any of our social accounts. These are the big 4 that are listed on this screen. If you want to take a picture of it real quick so you can follow us. But it's a really great way just to, from home for free, get to see what our students are up to, get to see what our faculty are up to, get to kind of see like some of the traditions that we do here at Kent. It really is a good time. And that is it for the formal part of this presentation. Again, my name is Jonathan Gates. I am a transfer enrollment specialist here at Kent. I specifically work with Eastern Gateway students. So if you do need anything, I am literally the person that you can come to. Send me an email anytime if you need to schedule a virtual appointment. I said I was going to share that link with Derek before this presentation, but it is just if you end up on kent.edu/transfer, all of our contact information is super easy to find. So I am here for any questions, but yeah, thank you guys for coming. You're welcome. Thank you.